Hi, welcome to Ms. Brown 7th grade math. Today we'll be talking about solving proportions. As always, I'm going to post these notes into Canvas. Please print them out or copy them into your next interactive notebook. If you have any questions about this video following, my virtual office hours will be every Wednesday from 9:15 to 10 a.m. You can log on, ask questions, and let me know if you need any help. Also, you will also have a test, the first test of the second 9 weeks coming up Friday. So if you will please, please study for this test, okay? It is important that you go ahead and you study for this test. It will be covering unit rates. It will be covering ratios. It will be covering complex unit rates. It will be covering constant of proportionality. It will be covering solving proportions. There are over 27, I believe, questions on this test that you will be taking on ELS, and it is definitely important that you go ahead and you study for this exam, okay? So let's jump right into it. To solve a proportion here in this box, I kind of have a setup of how I would like for you to solve it. First, it says set or write a proportion, same ratio on both sides. So you want to make sure you have the ratio on both sides. And this is more geared towards word problems. Second, you're going to cross multiply. 3, you're going to simplify. And 4, you're going to divide to isolate the variables. Okay. The cross product of two ratios must be equal if the two ratios form a proportion. So what they're saying is once you cross these, it has to give you an equal number in order for it to be proportional. Okay, this side has to be proportional to this side. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's the exact same number, but the number that you have should be able to simplify or increase to match the other side. Okay, so first, what it says, because we don't have the proportion is already set up when you have basic ones like this, you cross multiply. I like to cross multiply to the right. No, I'm sorry, to the left first. So it would be 25 times 52 equals, and then you cross to the left. Right, sorry. You do, what's that? 100 times 8. Okay. And then here you multiply these two together. 25 times 52, you get 1300 equals 100 times 8. Now here it tells us to simplify. That's the simplifying part, multiplying that together. And then it says divide to isolate the variable. So my variable is A. I need to divide both sides by 100 to get A by itself. And you'll learn when we start doing equations that in order to move a number from one side to the other side, you have to do the inverse operation. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. When I divide 100 by 100, I get 1. If I divide 1300 by 100, and I'm left with A on this side, and on this side, I'm left with 13. Okay, so to make this this equation proportional, it has to be 13 over 25 and 52 over 100. Now I'm going to do a couple more examples. At any point, you can pause the video to make sure that you're doing it the correct way. Okay, so I'm cross multiplied. That's 15 times C. Notice I put a dot instead of multiplication. Either one means multiply. Okay, and then 2 times 72. Now the commutative property allows me to be able to multiply whichever number I want first and not change my answer. Okay, just in case you don't understand why I may not put a certain number first. So if I simplify 2 times 72, I get 144. Remember, I want this variable to be by itself. C is being multiplied by 15 by 15, sorry. So I need to divide by 15 on both sides. So C equals 9.6. Okay. Here, and it doesn't matter because you could, this could be a fraction, it could be decimals, it could be whatever number you want it to be. By creating and solving for that missing variable, you're going to find what number makes it proportional. So we multiply this way. Sorry, 15 times M. Multiplied that way. 12.5 times 7.5. Okay, remember both of those mean multiplication. So I have 15M on this side And then on this side, I have 93.75. Divide both sides by what? The number next to the variable. So you divide that both by 15. This is going to give me 1, leaving me with m. And on this side, I'm going to end up with 6/25 hundredths. Okay, 25 hundredths. Last one. And like I said, if you would like to pause the video just to make sure you're doing it right, go ahead and pause. If not, we're going to jump right into it. So that's 8.4 times 5. 10 times m. This will give me 42 on this side when I simplify. 10 times m. Remember to divide on both sides to get that variable by itself. So m equals 4.2. Okay, so that is how you do it when you just have the proportion set up. But of course, math gives us word problems, correct? So when you're doing word problems, this first step, when we say write the proportion, the same on both sides, is very important. And I'm going to add another little note here, okay, for word problems. Because here in these particular problems, we were given the unknown, but this one we don't know. So the unknown the unknown is the variable. So when you get to the part that is missing from your proportion, that part becomes your variable. And I'll make that clear in just 1 second, okay? So it says a recipe calls for 12 ounces of fruit juice. And notice I'm going to try to keep things the same symbol for each part of the ratio the same so that you'll know which ones you need to do, okay? So we got 12 ounces of fruit juice for every 4 ounces of soda. Then the question says how much soda. So since I box soda, I'm going to box this part. How much soda should you use for 16 ounces of fruit juice? Okay, so this lets me know these two should be together and these two should be together. So when I write my proportion, I'm going to start with juice, and I'm comparing juice to soda. Well, if I'm comparing juice to soda on this side, then I got to compare juice to soda on the other side. Well, original, what happened first? And that's something that I like to tell my kids. What is the original? I call it old, or the original amount, okay? So it said it was 12 ounces of juice for 40 ounces of soda. Then the question said how much soda. So that lets me know I don't know how much soda it is, but I do know that there's 16 ounces of juice, okay? So when I go to write my proportion so that it looks like this up here, I have 12 over 40 equals 16 over, let's use S for soda because we don't know what that is, okay? Now we can figure out what soda is by following the same steps we did up here. So cross multiply, 40 times 16 equals 12 times S. Simplify, 40 times 16 is 640 equals 12 times S, okay? Then we're going to divide both sides by 12. So S, representing my soda, will equal 53.3 repeating. Okay? So about that amount of ounces of soda. Okay? Let's take a look at another example. So I have 8, and if there are 8 pencils in 2 boxes, how many pencils will fit into 5 boxes? Okay, so that should let you know which ones go where. The first thing is to set the ratio up, pencil over box. Okay, so it should be pencils over box. And my original, I had 8 pencils over 2 boxes, and this was my new. Okay, so this is the original, this is the new. And in the new one, we don't know how many pencils we have. But 8 times 5. I simplify. 2 times p, can't combine those two. And then this one will be 40. And I divide both sides by 2 because that's how I'm going to isolate this variable p. That's going to give me 1 p left. And this is going to be 20. So I can get 20 pencils in 5 boxes. Okay? And the last one that we're going to do, well, not last one, we got a couple more. And if you need some help or you need another one, I'm going to leave the last one open for you. Okay? So if I have 5 quarts of juice that cost $6.25, how many quarts of juice will you buy with $8.75? Now, I know last week I told you that money always goes on top. In this scenario, you can put money on top. It will not change your answer. So if you want to keep it that way, go ahead. But for the sake of doing it the same way that I've been doing it in this lesson, I'm going to put what came first only for this situation. But yes, I know that in unit price, if you're trying to find the unit price, money goes on top. But this is not what this one is asking for. It's asking for a proportional relationship, okay? Just to clarify for all of us who may be concerned, okay? So this one is doing our quarts of juice over cost. So quarts over cost. Originally, there were 5 quarts. That was $6.25. And then we had how many quarts? So we don't know the quarts here. We know that that's $8.75 in dollars. So my new proportion will look like 5 over 625 equals, let's do Q for quarts, 875. So we got 625 times Q equals 5 times 875, which gives me 625 times Q, which equals 4375. Divide both by 625. So I get exactly 7 quarts when I pay $8.75. Okay, this is 7, not 17. Okay, 7. So last one that I'm going to go through, because I think you should pretty much have it after this example. Okay. Adele scored 336 points by collecting 7 coins. After collecting a total of 18 coins, how many points is what we're trying to figure out. Did she score in all? Okay. So remember, it's points over coin is my ratio. Points over coin. For points here, I had 336 and I had 7 coins. For points here, I do not know, but I know that I have 18 coins. Okay, so when I go to set this up, I got 336 over 7 equals P for points over 18 for coins. Multiply. 7 times P equals, multiply this, 336, I don't know why I keep saying that wrong, times 18. When I simplify, I get 6,048. Divide both sides by 7. So points, I would have made 864. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope this lesson was helpful, and please let me know if you do not understand. Have a great weekend and study for your test.